Just want to apologize for my audio in this. I had a setting wrong, but I didn't want to redo the whole podcast because I thought that might not catch those first pilot episode type feels if we'd had to redo it. So moving forward, this will be the good audio. Please forgive my terrible audio in this one. So hope you enjoy.
Check. Okay, I'm recording too.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I got.
Welcome to the show.
We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're doing, but that's okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. Now I messed something up on my computer. Hold on. Jesus. All right. That's all I want to do. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's much better. Okay, all right. I'm all set.
All right.
So what podcast wouldn't be complete without
Liquid? I'm sorry, sir. Liquid Death doesn't sponsor this podcast.
I got to remember to talk very close to the mic, as well as make sure that everything's cool. I think everything's fine.
Yeah.
You're very far away from the mic.
Yeah, it's a shotgun mic. It's not like a podcast mic, so you don't have to be very close.
No, let's see. Oh, okay. All right, cool. I guess I could be very casual about it then.
Yeah, you could be like, show. I don't know. We're going to learn a lot because like all the stuff that the videos that I've been watching and researching about this, they don't use these mics.
I know. We're kind of like taking a bunch of like video photography like stuff and trying to apply it to this podcast thing.
But then I remembered the audio like is more important than the video. Like we're doing the video part because we watch video podcasts.
Yeah, right.
So I think that once we get this and listen to it and put it all together, that we'll go, okay, that worked, that didn't work. We should do this. We should do that.
Yeah.
So
who knows if anybody's ever even going to see this?
That's true because I feel like this little mic stand was only like $10, and because I wanted something that the mic screwed onto, and then this little one it didn't. It just kept falling over.
Well, I got my standard vlog stand.
Yeah,
here.
yours is a lot bigger than that. So I was just like,
now I'm getting a FaceTime from Angie. Hold on. Can I guess I can be on. Oh, I guess I can be on one FaceTime on the laptop. Hi. We're podcasting right now. We're podcasting right now. Nope. Okay. Bye. No reception. This is going banging for the first one.
I was thinking that. I was like, so I was all excited on our road trip to Mini Nats, and then I started thinking right before this, like, so what's the plan?
Yeah, like the first one is just getting everything set up to see if this is actually going to work.
I think so. I think we should definitely not go into any details about like how we like interviewing you versus me, finding all this stuff out before we get this one.
Before we nail it down.
Yeah.
And this is really professional right here. I'm just texting someone.
And I can't see your face because your mic's in the way.
Oh, really? No, you can see my face.
Yeah. It's like this.
Hold on.
It's like talking to you like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm... hold on. How about now?
That's better.
Okay. All right. Then I can just put this guy over here.
Yeah, it's going to be...
There. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm still getting good levels and stuff like that, so
yeah.
I guess it could be off to the side like that. I was just trying to be like, real professional podcast guy.
When I can hear when you move around your headphones, it's like peaking on my end. I don't know if
on your camera.
Yeah, because you're dropping it on your computer, where the microphone on your computer, I think. Not on my camera, in my headphones, because my headphones are plugged into my computer.
Oh, you want to know why? Is this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is why. Okay, hold on. There.
Yeah.
Because
because you have that.
I had this. I was using the other this headphone because I'm just leaving one out, so like I'm not yelling. What happens if I put both in?
Mine, like, I thought that's what my thing was going to be, is I was going to yell, but it's not too bad.
Mine's still like I think I'm gonna that's better. I think I'm gonna do it like that. But that's why you were getting all those weird noises, was because I had the actual microphone part hitting the table. Yep. So this is riveting podcasting right here.
I know you watch all the podcasts, like Two Bears and all the other podcasts we watch, and it's like amazing. And that's what was giving me a little anxiety, was like, we're not that cool like those guys.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. We're very cool. I don't know what you're talking about. The other thing I meant to do was set a timer.
I'm not that cool. Oh yeah, because what time does your camera cut off at? 28 minutes?
I don't know. I just reformatted this card. I was actually kind of scared because you know how this is good podcasting material, because it kind of gives everybody like a little behind the scenes on what goes on when we're making videos.
Yeah.
So when you record, at the end of the day, you drop your footage and you format your card.
Yeah.
Right? I don't do that. I am very scared that I'm somehow going to lose this. But now that I'm 4 shows behind on editing, like it's getting a little scary because I'm having to do that.
Yeah.
So like just right now I'm like, well, I got to reformat this card. So I'm going to make sure that I like move all this footage from the shows over, and hopefully nothing happens to it. And then I had to reformat my card.
That's the difference, is because I use my cards on a daily basis almost. Mm-hmm. So if I were to keep it on the cards, I would have to have a lot of cards. But then I've lost footage before, but that's because of my own clumsy fault. Now what I do is I will put it on the computer and a hard drive, so I have 2 places before I.
Okay. That's what I do.
It has to be on 2 spots before I format the card. So.
Yeah, that's what I did. But I still get nervous because I haven't lost footage yet, and I don't know what that feeling is like. So.
Yeah, the first time I lost footage was the card's fault, because the card corrupted. So
really?
Even if you're leaving them on the card, you're still risking anything.
I've never had that happen to me either. However, I am 1080p Frank. Yeah. So I'm probably not.
Like my card, I'm showing my card. I have I put my external monitor up, and see, I'm going to film this on my camera, and then I can overlay it in the edit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I have my camera with a light and my external monitor, so I can see that my camera's still recording, because
your external monitor doesn't tell you that your camera's still recording?
No, it does.
Oh.
And it shows a countdown of how much time is left on the card.
Oh, see, mine doesn't show me a countdown of how long is left on the card. It just tells me how long this file is.
Gotcha.
But I think it's, another thing that, like, I realized this when I was at your house, and I was like looking how everything is set up. That's the way you sit at your desk, right?
So I'm sitting sideways. My main desk is right here.
Yeah, and that's how usually mine is.
Yeah.
And usually I would have like, my desk behind me with all this like kind of interesting things, but no, since you're sitting on that side, I have to rearrange my space. And
well, you have to make sure that you look cool on video, because
I know, and I don't look very cool right now because
neither do I. I have a printer, a VCR. How about that?
No, because on your monitor.
And I'm probably going to crop this in a little bit to, eventually I bought some shelves, so I'm going to put some shelves up here.
Yeah. But that's part of podcasting, is you have to have cool stuff around you.
No, that's part of thinking that you need cool stuff around you.
Oh, well, you know me, I'm a bit of a show off. I obsess about those kind of things.
I see the square tank behind you.
Oh, where you do where? Oh, it's back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to try to figure out how to put that in here too, but there's very limited space.
Yeah.
So basically I have a map of the Los Angeles area from the 1930s. that my sister gave me. It's an old AAA thing. I got a Kobe Bryant jersey and a Chad Muska skateboard.
See, you look cool.
Those things are cool.
You look cool.
Yeah, so those things are cool. Yeah, those things are fine.
You should just get I'm just going to get a poster that says, I'm cool.
No need to state the obvious.
No. Yeah. But I have a notepad just in case because I have some...
Run out of things to talk about?
Well, no, I have some ideas for future podcasts. That we can touch on. Because obviously, I think this is going to be... Here's the problem that I see. Mm-hmm. At least for me. Because both of us right now, because we're both backed up on shows. So do we wait to release the podcast? Like, say, Mini Nats. We just went to Mini Nats 2 weekends ago. Mm-hmm. So we talk about Mini Nats and our trip to Mini Nats. Do we wait to release the podcast after our Mini Nats videos, or does it matter?
I don't think it matters. I just think we release them to release them, because if we waited for shows in real time, these would never be seen.
I know. I'm waiting for Ronnie to call me and give me crap because I'm still working on the reunion stuff from April.
Oh, 9th. That's right. So what shows are you working on right now? And I'll tell you mine.
The reunion. Mm-hmm. Which is a classic truck show that Ronnie and those guys put on.
Who's Ronnie? You got to explain who Ronnie is.
Oh, yeah. Ronnie from C10 Talk. Truck Talk Media. And then I'm also You know what I also I'm thinking about too? This is off topic, but I'm thinking about...
Go ahead.
Like the audio...
Podcasts are off topic.
Yeah, the audio has to flow. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking video. I think video all the time. Video. Never audio. So you gotta put your mindset in an audio mindset now too, rather than just video. Anyways, and then Mini Nats, and then the Cancer Show, and then I'm gonna do something with the Forbidden stuff, but I don't know what yet.
Because did you get out and actually film the Forbidden Show?
No.
You just did on your small camera.
Just my small camera, because it was mostly going to be a story about how that show went from what it was to that day.
So from the Lake Paris... Wait, Lake Paris days or pandemic?
No, Lake Paris. This.
Oh, okay.
We throw a show and we're here because of this, and then it tell a little history about it. But I don't know.
That's cool.
I don't know if I'm even going to do it or what, because I tried to do it with the auto mixer and I failed miserably. But we'll see. That's
cool. So the reunion, Forbidden maybe, and the Cancer Show,
and Mini Nats.
Yeah. So that's about the same thing I'm on. I'm still working on the Forbidden video. So I got the Forbidden video. If you were to go in chronological order, I have the Forbidden video. I have the Dream Big show down in Rancho Cucamonga, Mini Nats, and now the Cancer Show. So those 4. But I think I'm going to do it a little bit differently. And I'm going to do the Forbidden Show first, and then I'm going to do Mini Nats, and then Dream Big, and then the Cancer Show. Just because, those are kind of bigger shows, the local shows are awesome, and I really appreciate those guys putting on those shows. But I think, the bigger shows is what people are kind of anticipating.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a secret or anything like that. It's like when I shoot Dinos, it doesn't matter what I have in the queue, I'm going to get Dinos done. Same with LST. I'm going to get LST done.
Yeah.
Just because as fast as I can, at least. It's not because it gets the views. And the views.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. However, we did figure out that over this past couple shows that views, subscriber counts, comments, likes, those are things that we need to keep these videos going. However, I think we found out that that's not really the goal.
Well, it's not a number that we can gauge anything on. Because, for example, my channel has 75,000 subscribers. You're at 15?
15, yeah.
Okay. So what we made when on the income side of things, we'll use Mini Nats as an example, the exact same amount of money almost.
Yeah, that was interesting.
You know what I mean? So, you can't gauge, I can't take 15,000 versus 75,000 and gauge that on income. You know what I mean?
Right. Because ultimately they're arbitrary. Those numbers are really arbitrary, but they are the vehicle in which kind of keeps the machine going. As far as, getting at least in the YouTube algorithm to kind of promote our videos. But at the end of the day, at least, you know, in my perspective, like that's sort of like almost a byproduct because to me, the real kind of thing that shows us that the videos are successful is when so many people come up to us at shows and tell us like how much they like our videos and how much they watch them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That to me is a bigger gauge. That to me is like almost more successful, you know, because it shows like what we're doing is working.
Yeah, definitely. The numbers, the subscription numbers and the view count numbers help kind of like when we ask for product for our giveaways. You know what I mean? Like the first time when we did Vair, they asked for where it's going on. How many subscribers do you have? How many views do you have? How many Instagram followers do you have? So that's definitely a gauge for a metric for certain things.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like companies, yeah, definitely want to see that stuff.
Yeah, they want to.
Because there's like a whole, like when I was approaching a couple companies myself, like there's a whole like format to use to approach companies and saying like, you know, like giving them like not only like sub counts and everything like that's like watch time and retention. Like they get pretty detailed on. It's pretty crazy how all of this, you know, works.
Yeah. So we should probably go down this rabbit hole in a later podcast too, just because who knows who's going to see this. But we should. This one might. I mean, we might not even upload this one. This could just be a test.
I think we should. I mean,
no. I definitely think we should, but we also have to. Like, where do we start with the why we're doing a podcast on this first one? Do we start with goals? You know, do we start with like what do we? And you have a timer running, right?
I do. I think so. What's our goal here? An hour?
Under an hour, yeah.
Under an hour, yeah. Well, I mean, we're at 10 minutes. We have 50 minutes to go.
And that's a wrap.
And thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Well, I think the first thing, I guess, if people do see this, maybe we'll give like a little background onto how all of this kind of came about and how we're doing this. Because in actual fact, I don't know how we're going to edit it together or what it's going to look like. But in actual fact, we're in 2 different locations.
Yes.
You know, I'm in Southern California. You're in Phoenix. And we're doing this via Zoom. You know, I'm talking to you via Zoom.
No, but via FaceTime.
Oh, via FaceTime. I'm sorry. Yeah. Zoom. So it's going to be interesting I think that's interesting that we're putting this whole thing together in 2 different locations and everything like that.
Yeah, because I think in our heads we're gonna go into our editing program and put these 2 together, and it's gonna look like we're talking to each other.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. That's the
goal.
I hope that.
I have a weird feeling that I don't know.
But you know what? I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I think we put it together.
Yeah.
And just put it out
there. So
if
you're listening to this, not watching this, we just kind of discussed how we're gonna do this. Is one episode will go on the Grinder TV YouTube channel, and then the following episode will go on the Kustom Life channel, and they'll alternate as this lives on.
Yeah.
So
if it lives on.
If it lives on. If we live on, who knows?
Oh my God, that's dark.
I know.
Wow, jeez. First episode, and it got dark.
No, don't get dark.
Write that down. Don't get dark.
No,
this is a fun podcast.
Darkness.
I do want to do a couple things where I'm like maybe a crash zoom or 2 looking at the camera, and like
That's another thing I thought was going to be weird is because my camera's there and your camera's there, but we're looking here. But
yeah, so is your camera okay? So is your camera pointed this way?
My camera,
mine's pointed at me.
Mine is like off to the side,
uh-huh,
but not directly off to the side. It's probably at my 9 o'clock.
But like what I'm saying is like. If I look at the camera, it's like focused on me like this. Is yours focused on you like that?
No, it's focused on me like this.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, because at first I thought was directly to the side of me, because then when you splice it on Premiere, it'll look like we're talking. We'll look like we're talking to each other.
Right.
So that's just something that we're gonna have to play with, and again, there could be a time when there is no video; it's just audio on YouTube.
Right. Oh.
Who knows?
Maybe.
I mean, even if it's like we're like, oh, that looks like that doesn't work at all, but the audio came out great. We'll just put it on there.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It could be. There could be it's gonna be weird and like, see this how this rubs? You can't hear that.
I can hear that.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
That's what was picking up on this earlier, and I think it was translating from my desk.
Well, I'm trying to be very still, and I'm not trying to like knock stuff around. Maybe take an occasional drink of liquid death, mountain water, that will murder your thirst.
We're gonna blur that out, and we're gonna blur that out because.
But I mean, what do you have? What's in there?
Forbidden Fantasy Show and Shine lemonade.
Lemonade. Oh, I'm gonna have to send you some cases of refreshing ice cold liquid death. Because in actual fact, you know how like a lot of people like they say, oh, this is not a sponsor. Liquid Death is actually a sponsor. They
of your podcast
of
that side of the screen.
of this side of the screen, which I guess relates, you know. Yeah. But yeah, drink liquid death.
I want some liquid death.
We should do a thing where like I just like you have a can and I have a can and then I just go, and then you grab it and woo.
Oh, like we did with the tanks, with the tank, where I threw it.
Oh yeah.
And then you caught it.
Let me tell you, I have so much fun making those commercials.
Yeah, me too.
They're so much fun. Like, you know, I have to admit, making show videos, and I think this is just indicative of someone who just like keeps on making something. I do find myself getting a little repetitive, you know, and I don't want to say bored because maybe a little bit bored, but it does get repetitive. However, the commercials definitely just kind of like let it just the creativity kind of explode, you know, and I have so much fun.
Me too. I like the blooper reels. Like when Seth was like, fuck the website.
Yeah, that was
dying
so funny.
It was so funny.
And then my other favorite part of that was when you were like, go to Frank's website, Kustom. You're like, I don't know his.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, I don't even know his website.
But then Seth goes, oh, my bad. Like it was his fault for some reason.
Yeah,
no, that's great.
We probably have enough to put a little actual YouTube video together. I think maybe we could in front of these podcasts or like at a break and kind of just put something together where it advertises that we give stuff away on our websites.
Right, because we've given what have we given away? We've given a set of the 444 Vi Airs. We've done a Panda Fab Undernotch kit and Killer Wax kit, and now the Square Tank.
Yeah.
So like we've done all those things, and now I think we have, like you said, enough footage to maybe do a supercut of all of these different interesting things that we do. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess we can kind of give a little bit of a history on why we're giving that stuff away.
Yeah, go for it.
So I got hit up by a wallet company. You get when you have a YouTube channel, you get hit up by companies that they want you to advertise their product. So I got hit up by a wallet company, and I was like, oh, cool, I can put some, make some extra income by advertising. And so they said, we'll give you $100 for 3 episodes of 30 seconds or whatever. So I make them a 30-second commercial. I put it in the video in the first few minutes of the video, and they give me $100. And I was like, why are we entertaining that when we could promote our own stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the same time, we're promoting these other products. So it's like you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Square Tank or Viair or whoever is, we're not that they need us, but we're giving them a little bit of exposure and content, and then we're getting hopefully people coming to our website.
Right.
And instead of pushing someone else's product that we have no, wallet or anything like that,
Yeah, and especially like, you say that they don't need us, but it all fits together. Even the like smallest little, like it's so social media and this whole machine that we are a part of is so weird. Where little stuff like that actually does matter. It may not seem like this huge company giving away a couple compressors or a tank is going to make that much of a difference, but it does, because if we say their name enough, then people are going to start remembering their name. That's that's just the way it is. But also to talk about that wallet thing, it's like, yeah, you could do that, but then it seems like almost kind of, I don't want to say the word disingenuous because it's not, because a lot of people do that, but it's just like everybody does that. Like, you know,
well,
like,
if you watch, like, I don't know the videos, you know, the YouTube channels you watch, but like, I'll watch, I don't know, Cletus McFarland, and the first 2 minutes he's promoting like Simply Safe.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
Or
like
Squarespace.
Or Squarespace, and that's great because they're getting paid a lot of money.
Lots of money.
You know, if someone was like, "Hey, we'll give you 150 grand," I would be like, "I don't care what it is, I'll talk about it."
That's true.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I want to kind of it's not part of the whole deal.
Well, and like, you know, the two things, like the products that we deal with. One is we have built relationships with these companies our like entire careers. Yours much longer than mine, and with many more companies. But like, you build these relationships with these companies, so it's really more organic. So it's not like you're asking some huge conglomerate to like, you know, like Squarespace to ask you for something. You're asking like your buddy who started this company and now it's huge, and now like you know what I mean? It's like kind of more organic. And then, you know, secondly, it's like it has something to do with what we do. You know, shilling a wallet or a website, you know, to a dude who lives in Missouri who's building an S10. You know,
unless it's a Grinder TV, GTV S10 wallet that I sell on the website.
Oh, you mean one of these? You can superimpose that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you know, like that guy sitting in Missouri building his S10, you know, he's not going to build a website, but he may need a set of Vire 444s or a Square Tank, you know. So like, I don't know. I think it's a little more like organic, kind of grassroots kind of thing, you know.
I think so too. What are we calling this podcast?
Well, that's what we need to talk about. So, you know, as most things, just a name sort of comes up, and so if our viewers, listeners, the people watching don't know, when we do these giveaways, we do them on IG Live, and we'll do like a pseudo podcast, you know, something like that, and maybe we'll have a guest or two on. So it's like, you know, we needed something to be like, well, tune in to this thing. So what is this thing? I just came up with the Frank and Brian Show. Not that I would put my name in front of yours on purpose or anything. It just, I don't know. It just happened that way.
It sounds better. It flows better.
So the Frank and Brian Show, the F and Bean Show.
Yeah, you know what? It's gonna be the Frank and Beans.
The Frank and Beans.
Yeah. So I don't know if you like this idea, but if we had the Frank and Brian Show, and then we actually like had a name for it.
What do you mean?
Like an actual physical name, like I don't know, like how Two Bears has two bears, one
okay.
kid. So it's like two guys, one pod, or something. Well, something stupid. Yeah, I know. Something weird like that, to where it can be marketed too.
Yeah, I totally get it. You know, so, and our good friend Milan, Poised Hipster. You know, did he put on that show, the golf show? Like he put that whole thing together. Long drives and dope rides. Long drives.
Yeah, he put
dope rides. So that's a really cool name, because that's sort of what we do.
Yeah.
We go on long trips and we go check out dope rides all over the country. So I don't know if our friend,
we're gonna steal his name.
If our friend, you know,
no, because he's gonna continue to do that and make it a thing before other shows too, like Dino's. I think he's.
Oh, okay. So he's like gonna make it an annual thing, which was really cool. I'm not a golfer, but
I'm not either. But it's definitely cool. Like the Frank and Brian Show, I like it. I think it could have something either after it or under it, or I don't know. It's just something to think about.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely gonna have to brainstorm that. Write that down.
Hold on. Podcast name.
Right. I don't have I feel a little unprofessional. I don't have a piece of paper or anything like that.
Let's see.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
This is my notepad, and I'm almost out of stuff, but see, I'm tapping the desk. It's going to come out.
I'm trying.
I have like all my inventory in here, like from different shows. I come home and I write it in here, and stuff I need to do before shows, I write it in here.
That's awesome. Speaking of inventory and stuff like that, that's what I need to do. I need to do inventory for the next show, and actually, to kind of go back to what we were talking about as far as like being backed up on shows like that, and I wanted to make this point, and I'm actually going to make a Instagram post kind of explaining this. It's like these shows, ever since like February and LST, these shows have been just like bang, 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 so close to each other. So I feel like,
yeah, it's. I'm going to be pretty much out of most of my stuff after rolling in the Red Rocks, but then I look at my calendar and there's nothing in June, nothing in July, until August. For me, at least.
June and July are slow months for me too. Like I don't really like local stuff, but nothing.
Well, usually I'm scraping the coast in June.
Oh, that's right.
And then in July we had the Oregon show, Relaxing in the Northwest, and then I did Slamboree. I'm not doing any of those not anymore. I wouldn't say anymore, but not doing any of those this year. Mm-hmm. And then.
Okay, so then that means my camera shut off at. Let's see.
Should be about 28 minutes.
26 minutes. Well, yeah, 28 minutes. Because how do you know that?
Because it's a legal thing. So the cameras prior to some of these newer ones, there was if it was a video camera, there was a certain tax they had to charge you. So they had to cut it off at 28 minutes in order to not charge you that tax.
Because these are not technically video cameras. Yeah. They're photography cameras. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll splice that part together. So, what was I saying? I was talking. My unique perspective. Yeah. My unique perspective on these shows being so close together. Okay, so like you look at a show like LST, which is in late February, and then the Forbidden show, which is in late March, right?
Yeah.
February, March. Yeah. So the way I look at it is like, yeah, they're a month apart. However, we have like a week of travel, so we have like 3 days to get there. Show maybe 2 or 3-ish days to get back, so that's like a week of travel. And then I don't know, maybe it may sound bad on my end, but I need to decompress for a couple days. I just can't like jump right into it, so I need a couple days to decompress. So that that second week is gone, so now I'm stuck with 2 weeks ready to get to the next show. And if you take a show from like Forbidden to Mini Nats, Forbidden doesn't take that much travel because it's in Laughlin. That's only 3 hours away from me. But like from Forbidden to Mini Nats, now that time is still cut down because there's still a lot of travel to get to Mini Nats. You know what I mean? So like that's like the problem. The problems that I've been faced with lately is just like trying. And then as well, for people who don't know, is like I do the shows and everything, but I also have a screen printing company which I print customer work for too. So my thing is like this unique balance of getting prepared for these shows, printing, as well as fulfilling customer orders, and keep on going. Which is actually that's what well, maybe we should save that for a different podcast. But the fact of the matter is, like, the number one question that we get when we're out at shows is, at least from my perspective, is people say, "Is this what you do?"
Yeah.
It's like, yes, this is what we do.
I know. We definitely have to save this same topic. We'll have to circle back around to it in a couple of episodes down the road, just because.
Write that down.
Okay. So,
circle around
back to travel and
jobs.
Yeah,
professional fun havers.
What time we got? So you dropped me off Tuesday morning for Mini Nats, and then I did another turn and burn to SoCal.
Yeah, you know what, dude, that was pretty amazing. I was very impressed.
That was a 20-hour turn and burn, and then the next day I had a photo shoot here locally, and then last night I drove to Tucson, which is 3 hours, and did a photo. Did a photo shoot down there. So I was another 6 hours on the road yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, dude. Hey, hats off, man. That's when you said, "Oh, I'm gonna be there at the cancer show," I was like, "Whoa!" I mean, that's funny, pretty gnarly.
Because in that vlog, I'm actually gonna talk about making excuses. Like, I was fully ready to not go to that show.
Yeah.
On the way home from India, I was like, "I'm not going next weekend. I'm tired right now. I'm not gonna go."
And I'm like, "Yeah,
it's
in my backyard."
Yeah. So
and I was pretty burnt.
We should talk about the podcast more a little bit.
Okay. Let's talk about the podcast.
Yeah, we got a little bit of time left.
I think we got about 20 minutes or so left.
Yeah, so hopefully this audio stuff is working out good.
I think mine looks pretty good. I keep kind of glancing over on it. It may be peeking a little bit into like yellow, but
Mine. It's hard to gauge mine. This camera's a little bit different from my other one.
mm-hmm.
But I think what I'm gonna do, depending on how this sounds, I'm definitely want to get one of those stands. Like you can't see, but you can because when you watch this video. But that comes off the desk here and maybe over to here.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, that's like
because those. And then every podcast video like research I saw, the mics, the good podcast mics, are like $100,
mm-hmm.
and that's where you get that more deeper tone. It just sounded tinny to me when I was. Anyways. Yeah. Why are we doing this podcast?
Why are we doing this podcast? From a personal perspective,
yeah.
I think it's cool. I like talking. I enjoy talking. I enjoy talking to my friends, and I just enjoy talking about stuff. So I've always wanted to start a podcast, which is funny because Angie, my wife, and like for those who don't know Angie is not only my wife, but she's my partner in Kustom Life, and she's the one who helps me do all of this stuff. I told her that I want to start a podcast. Actually, I kind of like take it back a little bit. So when we were when we really started heavily doing what we're doing, which is traveling to shows and creating merch and creating and just creating merch at that point, I told Angie, I said, I really want to start making videos. Well, I actually started in photography, so I started taking photos at shows just as a way to like get people to like share our stuff. So I figured if I went to a show, took some hold on. Okay. Remind me later. Okay. So I figured if I went to a show, took photos of vehicles. Wow, this is not going. There we go. Let me start again. I figured I'll start again. So when we first started just making shirts and going to shows, I decided that I was going to take photos at shows. And the reason was if I could take photos of shows and of people's vehicles, put my logo on it and put it on social media. At the time, it was like MySpace and Facebook, barely Facebook, and get people to share it, share the logo. So, that was good. We were going along with that. And then I told Angie, I was like, hey, I want to start making videos. And her first reaction was like, what, do you want to be like Brian? And I said, well, no, not necessarily. I just think that is the next logical step in doing what we're doing. Started making videos. Was really heavily influenced by Casey Neistat, who is a big YouTuber. I think everybody knows who Casey Neistat is. And started making vlog style videos. And and then once like we started seeing a correlation between making videos and selling merch and a correlation between those two things, we found out that it was really cool. Okay, so we started printing merchandise, started doing photography, started doing video, and then I told Angie, I said, I really want to do a podcast. And her first reaction to that was like, when are you going to do a podcast? You already are printing merchandise, taking photos at shows, and making videos. When are you going to do a podcast? So it was an idea that was shelved for like a really long time. And just, recently us going on these trips and kind of getting in the mud about like what to do on a podcast. And here we are. That's my perspective of starting this podcast.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to me. When I would go on these road trips, and it was when I would get real tired, like 10 hours into the road trip, and I would listen to a podcast, and then I would go, dude, we could do this. I know I could do this. And then I would go to sleep for a while and wake up with a fresh mind and go, who am I kidding? I'm not going to be able to talk. But then when me and you go on road trips, that's all we do is talk. You know what I mean? Some things we can't talk about on this podcast. A lot of things. But, all we do is just jab and jab and jab. And then we'll sit there on Facebook Messenger and jab and jab and jab. And it's just like, if we just put this into a podcast and people might listen to it, they might not.
And I think honestly, and without trying to sound conceited or anything like that, I think people are genuinely curious about all this. Because if you like look at this thing from an outsider's perspective, and this is why we get that question so much, is this is what you do. It's because you got to look at it from like an outsider's perspective. All we do is we travel to shows and we kind of like do all these kind of interesting things. We go to these shows and we see these like interesting trucks, and it just seems like, like how are these guys doing this? Like how is this sustainable? Obviously we both I have kids, I have a family of kids, you have a wife, and you have a house, and I have a house. Like, obviously, we're doing the things that normal people do. So from an outsider's perspective, they're like, how is this happening? So I think anytime that like we can do something like this, like chop it up,
we're poor.
That's the secret.
Don't buy nice stuff and drive old trucks.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves here.
I think we should definitely go down the rabbit hole of this more, and like we talked about, this is the unofficial first episode, just kind of
the pilot.
Yeah, there's no really direction of this, but we should definitely, how you were saying, like go down a little bit of your history on one, and then a little bit of mine, and that's where. I
don't think it should be a little bit. I think it should be a lot. We should just go down the whole gambit.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we could do one. So we're talking about 50-minute. Well, yeah, because an hour. Well, what did you say the record time was? Like 28 minutes. Anyway, an hour, right? Say an hour. So we have an hour. Might as well just like get into the mud, man. Go all the way.
Yeah,
one episode, find out about me. One episode, find out about you. Yeah. Just really get down to it, because I think people are curious. People want to know.
No, I think so too. I think we're definitely once we can get, I don't know even how to upload a podcast. So once we get this and the audio and put together, and the audio stripped away from this, and you have to get it approved and stuff. Once we figure all that out, then we can figure out a little bit more of a direction, because we don't want to keep talking about the same things.
Oh, I don't think. I honestly think that we can go, quite a long time with talking about different things, because I just think like there's so much to talk about,
and we got a lot to say.
We have a lot to say. We have a lot to talk about. Not only not only you got like going into like us into detail, but like everything, like the scene, trucks, wheels, different types of trucks, motors. I have some pretty strong opinions about billet wheels.
Yeah, and Frank doesn't like body drops, so
body drops. That'll be an interesting
one.
Episode.
Yeah.
What and that the title, the title of that episode will be, "Why does Frank not like body drops?" For the record, I love body drops. They're sick. I love them. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll figure. We're going to get real into the mud, literally, which you do when you drive out of your driveway.
We'll get into that too. I do live in a interesting. I live in so I bet like I tell a lot of people, they're like, "Where are you from?" I say, "I'm from Southern California," and then so they must think palm trees, beaches,
no, that's
Tinseltown.
That's gonna be a great intro to when we go into your deep dive. And you say where you live, and then you can like on the screen we'll put palm trees and like driving down the beach and the coast, and then we're gonna put your road, just your road with your Titan driving down like.
No, me and the 4Runner going.
Why is my truck falling apart? Probably because I drive down this road way too fast.
Well, I mean, I should take out stock in struts.
Oh, and I just thought of something. I wrote it down. You should make it. You have Kustom Life. You should make an Angie t-shirt that says Kustom Wife.
That's a really good idea. Wow. That's a really
We're going to unlock good ideas.
Let me write that down.
Take a note of that.
I will. Take a note. Write that down.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm talking to.
Those people back there.
Yeah, the audience.
Kustom Wife, and then it's Angie, like kind of your graphic on the side of your 4Runner. That would be that, and then Kustom Wife.
Like, put Angie's face on a t-shirt?
The graphic you have on the side of your 4Runner.
That's not Angie.
Who is that?
Again, interesting stories. My good friend Alan at AK Airbrushing in Riverside, California, who did the paint job on the 4Runner, when he did that, like, I didn't tell him what I really wanted. I just gave him a list of stuff I actually didn't want. So I'm like, I don't really like this. I don't really like that. So, and then let him have complete creative control.
And you're like, I don't like my wife, Angie, so he didn't put her on there.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So, yeah. So he, I don't know who that is. It's just some lady. I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to give away a little bit of Alan's secrets right now.
Yeah.
Is I'm pretty sure he just Googled like good looking lady and then did that, because the reason why, quick little story, it's hilarious. So I didn't give him any like, limits on what, well, I mean, I'm sorry. I did told him what I didn't want to do, but as far as what anything beyond that list, he could do whatever he wanted. Yeah. So he decided on one side that he was going to put a city skyline, which is awesome. I love the city. I'm a city guy. I love going. I'm a city guy, right?
Yeah.
So he puts this city skyline on the side of the truck, and I go down to visit him one day, check on the progress, and he's doing the airbrushing, and I see this thing taped to the side of the truck. It's a city skyline, and underneath of it says San Diego, California. I have zero ties to San Diego. I live much closer to Los Angeles than I do San Diego.
Let's be real. That you should have put the San Bernardino skyline on there.
I should have put the. You know what I should have put was the mountains. You know what are those mountains called? Like, you can see them basically from one end of the IE to the other.
You've got Big Bear Mountain and you've got
the other one.
Mount Baldy.
Mount Baldy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so I actually live on the other side of those, so my perspective is a little bit different.
Yeah. You see Wrightwood, right? And all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that would have been better. However, that irrelevant to the story.
We're gonna get into that topic about Frank in Los Angeles later on.
We'll get into that one.
That's gonna be
so. Anyway, so I see this and I'm like, I didn't say anything,
Yeah.
like, obviously, because, like, what am I going to tell him not to put it on there?
Yes,
it's his thing, right?
No, yes, tell him not to put it on there.
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It looks great.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I see that. Okay, that's interesting. Whatever. And then I told Angie about it. She's like, no one's gonna know. It's like a silhouette of a city skyline. No one's gonna know. It's just whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Whatever. Get the truck back. The first show that we took it to was the Forbidden Fantasy Show and Shine 2017. And super stoked. We get it up there, and our good friend Joey, who's in our club, who lives in San Diego, who has been in Forbidden Fantasy for 20-something years,
who has the skyline tattooed,
skyline tattooed on his arm. I pull up, he sees the truck, and the first thing out of his mouth is, "Hey, that's San Diego."
You're like, well, next time I'm going to tell my painter no.
Yeah, tell the painter no.
Yeah.
No, but to tie it together, the girl on the other side is, I don't know who that is.
Okay, well,
I should give her a name.
You should.
Is what I should do.
But it could be something like, because Kustom Wife, it's going to be a girl shirt.
Yeah,
and it's going to represent all the custom wives out there.
Right.
And yeah, so custom.
Maybe like a cartoony pinup type.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So
and
can you give me a good idea
to talk about my paint job?
Yeah, can you give me a good idea for my apparel?
Oh man, I have so many. Well, can I talk about the one that you're currently talking about doing with the
Moon Man?
Yeah.
Later on.
Oh, okay. Because that's a really good idea.
Yeah, because we have.
That's a good idea.
I think I want to stick to the podcast intro and go down that other stuff later on. I feel only because, tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like we're gonna, if we touch on a little bit on every subject, we're not gonna have stuff for later on.
Maybe, but however, so as you are an avid podcast listener as well as I find that a lot of these podcasts, they actually do talk about the same thing. So like when even when they have guests on, because that's, to me, that's a mark of a good podcast. Isn't like necessarily like a tell me about this thing. It's like just talking, right? And so, a lot of the podcasters, since they do talk so much, they sort of start talking about the same things over and over again, which is actually, to me, is fine, because let's say you're a new person rocking up and listening to this, and then you get just like a little nugget of information and you learn something about that person. Although the person who's listened to 50 episodes, is just like, well, I've heard that before. Yeah. So I think it's okay to talk about the same things and kind of touch on the same subjects.
Okay, so what? So I have some ideas.
Hit me.
So you have reoccurring themes, right?
Right.
Where I think we could talk about if there's an interesting YouTube video that you watched between the two podcasts, you can make a note of it, almost like how open tabs, where they keep the open tabs open.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah. But just if there's something you're like, man, that was pretty interesting, and then make a note of it, and then we can talk about it, and then suggest that to people too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And eventually so this is I think this is working really well. Well, I don't know. We haven't gone to the editing process yet, so I don't know. But I have a feeling that it's going to go at least together okay. Yeah. So the next thing we need to do is figure out how to bring guests on, because I'm excited to talk to a lot of different people in our scene and maybe outside of our scene. We do, our scene. Well, I mean, we are pretty kind of like entrenched into our scene, but we are also into other things, and we know other people. I'm really into music and punk rock, and I know some bands, so we could talk to them about stuff.
And I don't think there's going to be a limit on what can be done and what can't be. So it's like, say you are like, hey, I really want to interview this guy, and he lives by me.
Mm-hmm.
Set that up and interview him. I don't necessarily have to be
for sure
there. You know what I mean? Or here, like where I'm at, if Milan comes and hangs out here in the office, and we just have.
I think that's more likely than someone coming to the Newton Ranch, the Kustom Life compound.
Well, you never know. You could get. I mean, there's people up there. Bring Doug over to your house.
Oh yeah, I could have. Oh well. We might get flagged on that one.
Yeah.
I love you, Doug. Oh, you didn't see me wink. Hold
on. Anyways, these are just ideas. They don't.
Yeah.
But I also think that when we do go on these trips, we had the Airbnb in Mininats.
Yeah,
we could do a podcast there.
Oh yeah.
We could set up the light, the camera, and just sit there and talk.
Yeah.
And then that's an episode. That'd be cool. LST, same thing. We have Joe at LST with us. We have
Lindsay. Lindsay would be a great guest.
Yeah, like so you have and then like you come out for Severed or I come out to you. We can pre-plan these things to where we can't, like if we have a guest and we're like, it would be really good for this guest to be there instead of being here in this space. We can plan that.
Yeah, and that's much more likely a scenario of me coming out to you because you don't come out here anyway. No, but because a lot of for the people who watch a lot of the Kustom Life videos, it always starts with me. All right, welcome to the Kustom Life vlog. We got to go get Brian. So that's the first I think that's more likely. So yeah, if we could set that up and just the first night that I'm there, do an hour podcast with someone cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because everybody cool lives in Phoenix. Well, not everybody cool. A lot of cool people live in Phoenix.
Yeah, exactly. Or if we're going to, say, Last Resort.
That's true. That's coming up, October.
We could sit down with Stuart from KIK.
Oh, yeah.
At the show. We could set it up to do something. I don't know if that'll work or whatever, but these are just ideas that
I think start with something like local and a little more controlled environment.
And I think that we can add. Can you add people to FaceTime? We're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah, you can. My kid does it all the time, dude. She gets like 8 people up on FaceTime.
So your kid's gonna be our producer.
My nephew. My nephew will be our producer because that fool knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look up FaceTime podcast.
That's I feel like that was such an old man thing to say.
What's that?
Like my nephew, he really knows about them computers and stuff.
It's happening.
Yeah, I know.
Just like I started uploading reels to Instagram, and my buddy who's in his 20s that does videos was like, "Congratulations on finally doing that." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "That's where it's at, man. Congratulations." And then I did it, and I didn't put a title. So he goes, "You have to put a title too." And then so I put a title on the next one, but not hashtags. So he messages me, "You have to put hashtags too." And I'm like, "I'll get there.
And that's the thing. Well, and that's the difference is you have to be adaptive, and we have to keep on constantly evolving with all this social media because that's what we do. It sounds so cheesy, but that's what we are. We are content creators. That's what we do, and we put a lot of effort into it.
Do you have any ideas for the podcast?
I think we just kind of touched on them, like doing guests, talking about shows, talking about crazy stuff that happens to it. Like, I think one thing I think the podcast will be really good for is filling in the gaps. Like when I upload a video of us going to mini nats, it's kind of, although it is a really good like in my videos it's more like a very step-by-step thing taking someone to a show, but I think there's still like little gaps, like little things that kind of make it on the cutting room floor, like going to Hattie B's, how excited we are for that,
and why and how that came about, and us when we went to Nashville and we tried the other place.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Also like the Airbnb stories and
driving like a completely different route just to hit a Buc-ee's on the way back. That's not in the video.
Which you definitely touched on in the video. I don't know. You did on Instagram. You did that on Instagram.
On Instagram, my Instagram stories addiction.
Yeah, we can talk about all that stuff.
Yeah, I think that's one useful tool of this is just filling in the gaps.
I just worry about myself, like just going down too many avenues. But I guess like you said, we can circle back in other episodes and update those avenues because they're constantly changing.
That's because, like I said, this is just a free form conversation. There's no real structure to it. I mean, there's some like things to talk about, but in actual fact, I want to point out that we have talked for almost an hour now, and we haven't sitting here going, So
it was a big worry of mine. It's just like
we haven't done that. We've stayed on kind of not on topic, but we've been engaged the whole time. So I think that's a real huge plus.
It is.
So it was a little weird in the beginning. You want to get settled in, like I'm settled in now. I could probably do another hour, but we won't.
Sorry, you just. So should we end it? I mean, what do we do?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, do we end it and then go, okay, so this is our podcast now. Stay tuned.
We're at 50 minutes, so yeah, we're wrapping it up right now.
Yeah, and then you're gonna send me. Put this in Dropbox. Do you have Dropbox?
Now I use WeTransfer, but I have
Dropbox. This is definitely gonna be more than 2 gigs though.
Oh, do you have to like sign up for an account? Well, I mean, obviously I have to sign up for an account, but is it like unlimited? Like I can send anything, or do I have to like pay a fee?
I pay a fee, but you should be able to utilize my Dropbox. Like I should be able to create a folder and you can upload it in there.
Oh, okay.
WeTransfer limits you to 2 gigs.
And this is bigger than 2 gigs.
This is bigger than 2 gigs.
Yeah.
I know. It's almost 64 gigs on mine right now.
I can't. My little Canon doesn't have that much information.
Well, you figure you've already put 28 minutes. What size is your memory card?
128 gig.
Oh, see, I only have 64 gig in there.
Oh.
But I like.
Are you shooting this in 4K?
Yeah, like 4K, 422, full color this and all this stuff because I have to.
1080p Frank right here.
Well, I wanted to shoot it in 4K because I can zoom in and adjust it. And
you're not going to do that with mine. Mine is going to be that classic all gas, no brakes, grainy crash zoom. Oh, you there? Hello?
No, I can't
Hello?
hear you. Is it me?
You can't. Can you? I think it's you.
No.
I haven't changed anything.
There it goes. It just lost it for a second.
Oh, I think it was you because I didn't do nothing. Anyway, so yeah, I think this is a wrap. This was fun. The pilot episode of the Frank and Brian working title podcast.
I'm gonna put should I do an Instagram story?
Should that be the name?
Well, what is
working
it?
title?
No.
Working title?
It needs to be
the Frank and Brian show working title.
We have to think of merch.
Oh, okay. We'll get back to that. I'll put some thought into that.
Yeah. Should I just do an Instagram story? And people.
Yeah. We should both do Instagram stories.
All right.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah. All right. The pilot episode.
You can't hear Frank talking right now because I'm on my headphones.
Oh, and I just showed my entire dirty office. But the very first episode, pilot, the Frank and Brian show, done. I kept that at 15 seconds.